Good morning everyone. Today I will be talking about Nritya. As you all know, it is a very important part of dance. Nritya is expressional dancing. At the outset, we would recognize it in the Bharatanatyam format as typically performed in Varnam, when the Sahitya is delineated first and then wrapped up with a short summary through Tattamittus, Adavus, coinciding with the expressional gestures. Nritya offers delight to the mind of the spectators. This pure dance is always performed with enthusiasm and a harmonizing, peaceful demeanor of the dancer. Abhinaya, on the other hand, lays bare the material with which the story is strung together. It narrates the plot to the spectators with the help of the Vibhavas, Anubhavas and Sanchari Bhavas, which are the determinants, consequents and the transitory moods, as you all know, without flattering from the predominant Sahitya Bhava of the poem or the song. This Abhinaya also makes the heart of the audience delighted, even if it is a sad tale, as it makes the hearts of the audience identify with the characters which are depicted. In the background of Nritya and Abhinaya, how do we fit in Nritya? That's a question. Is it really essential? Can one do without Nritya in a performance? All these are the questions to be answered. The answer lies in the fact that Nritya and Abhinaya per se are two isolated modes of presentation, one purely rhythmic and the other purely expressive. It is therefore extremely necessary to be able to synthesize these two elements in such a manner that the composition stands out musically as well as aesthetically. Nritya becomes the perfect blend of the two, giving a complete picture of the story by creatively and intelligently weaving two aspects of rhythm and expression. All the stories from the most common or simplest episode to the most complex and challenging episode would become a cakewalk if one resorts to Nritya for the histrionic and dramatic representation. Nritya can be described as an explanatory dance, where the lyrics of the songs are conveyed using hand gestures, that is hastas, and facial expressions, that is abhinaya. The dancer's internal emotions, which is bhava, should be performed in such a way that it should be felt with impact by the audience. Now this is very important, as you all know. The dancer should acquire correct meaning and interpretation of the song. The hand gestures pertaining to the deities, planets, incarnations, relations of family are to be practiced in order to use them correctly in fast tempo in Nritya. This way, it does seem that bhavas are enacted by the dancer and rasa is produced in the spectator. That is, yato hasta, tato drashti, tato manaha, yato manaha, tato bhava, tato rasa. This shlok, you all know, it is from Abhinaya Darpanam and it is very, very important and is most true of Nritya and rasa through Nritya. However, it cannot be literally followed in pure Abhinaya or Natya, as the Sattvika Bhavas pertain to the mind and face, which mirrors the mind and hastas, operate to describe these bhavas, and where the rasa is already full in the actor or a dancer to overflow to the spectator. Drashti here would mean the vision in words, which will have to be the starting point. Nritya is the presentation of rhythm through forceful and graceful body movements. It emphasizes the significance of acute synchrony between rhythm and time and symmetry with dance movements. Beats and steady tempo are its two vital constituents. Nritya consists of abstract dancing and has no poetic meaning to literate. In Natya Shastra, it is told that the sheer beauty of Nritya has a great popular appeal. Nritya. Nritya is the depiction and portrayal of poetry through graceful and structured movements of dance. Nritya is when the dancer justifies the meaning of the song through various bodily movements such as facial expressions, hand and leg movements, and simultaneously with Nritya. Abhinaya consists of four categories, namely Vachika Abhinaya, Angika Abhinaya, Aharya Abhinaya, and Satvika Abhinaya. The song with its lyrics, the movements of limbs and hand gestures with integrated gaits, the costume and stage property, the facial expressions with integrated movement of eyes, neck, eyebrows, etc., all form the backbone of Abhinaya. Taking into account the traditional margam of a Bharatanatyam, let us consider where and how Nritya is being used. Alaripu, Kavitvam, Todai Mangalam, Malari, Pushpanjali, Jatiswara, Swarajati, Shabdam, Stuti, Kriti, Varnam, Javali, Padam, Varnanama, Abhanga, Tillana. In the opening dance numbers, the dancer offers her prayer to the gods, including those who rules the stage with flowers and symbolic offering. The dancer then greets the audience and her movements indicate that she considers herself as an instrument to connect with the divinity. In some of the opening numbers, there are salutations with prayer to the various deities, extolling their virtuous qualities. In these movements, Nritya, in which there is semblance of rhythmic movement and expressional gestures, becomes relevant. In the popular Todai Mangalam, Jaya Janaki Ramana, it is almost fully Nritya based choreography that is rendered. Kautuvams have all got phrases that extol the deities, performed in Nritya style. Jatiswaram, a Nritya piece, consists of pure dance technique, while Swarajati may also include verses that sing the praise of the deities. Here again, Nritya is employable because it is easier this way to sum up the narration with the use of appropriate hand and limb gestures, keeping pace with the tempo of the song. For example, we have Sambhashiva Swarajati in Ragam Kamas and Kamakshi Swarajati in Raga Bhairavi. Shabdam introduces the element of expressional dancing, Nritya in a detectable fashion. Popular Shabdams are Sarasi Jakshulu by Sri Swati Tirunal and Dayaradhan by Sri Kambar, and many new compositions arisen in recent times. Alternately, we perform either a stuti or kriti, which can be in praise of the goddesses like Shankari Shankaru by Sri Shyama Shastri, or in praise of Lord Kartikeya like Swaminatha by Sri Muthu Swami Dikshitar. In these compositions, Nritya becomes indispensable since they touch upon the qualities of one or more deities and recount popularly known instances from their Puranas. When the dancer arrives at the Varnam, she is reaching the sanctum sanctorium of the temple as per the design given by the Tanjore Quartet, who gave us the traditional margam of a Bharatanatyam repertoire. It is in the Pada Varnam that the true metal of the dansu emerges, as it contains an equal distribution of Nritya or pure dance, Abhinaya or pure expression, and Nritya or expressional dancing. The well-known Varnam by the renowned composers have proportionate lyrics to suit the mood of Sringara or love, and the second portion of the Varnam accentuates in tempo but with extremely vibrant and soothing lyrics, which offer immense scope to dance Nritya. In the first portion of the Varnam, there are examples taken from the incidents, events, and legends which are depicted in order to celebrate the exalted status of the Nayaka or hero with whom the poet, who calls himself a Nayaka or a heroine, aspires to have union. For example, if the Lord is Maheshwara, the episodes of Markandeya, who attains the boon of overcoming death, and the drinking of poison from the milky ocean are often depicted. During these, Nritya is most suitable because it is only with the help of Nritya that the various characters with their unique body language, traditional hand gestures, and synchronized movements can be shown. While depicting the heroine who is struck by the arrows of Lord Kamdeva, Nritya is used to depict the exuberant mood of the Lord of Love, jumping his way towards the forlorn lady, striking the flowered arrows from the sugarcane bow. The Varnam is characterized by the Tattamit Adavus, which are generously used as a dividing segment between Nritya and Abhinaya. Replete with skilled musical passages, Varnams become the central piece of a performance, rightly termed as piece de resistance. Other than the Tanjore Quartet, Varnams of Sri Dandayuda Pillai, Sri Papanasam Shivam, and recent composers like Sri Lalagudi Jayaraman are increasingly popular these days. When the Varnam is devoted to Mahavishnu, the 10 incarnations of the Lord are dramatically portrayed using Nritya. This way, a summary of the sequence in pure expression can be made at equal intervals to aid to maintaining the tempo of the song and reviewing the state of the characters in the plot. Post Varnam, the dance numbers focus on pure Abhinaya. Except for a Devar Nama, there seems less scope to utilize Nritya. In a Padam or a Javli, where the mood is predominantly the Sthai-bhav of Sringara, the transitory moods revolve around nostalgic memories of the happy moments and the pathetic state as a result of separation. Depending upon the types of heroes and heroines, the expressions are appropriately rendered, and very rarely can we find the employment of footwork keeping the tempo of the song simultaneously with hand gestures. Here again, there is an exception made when it is a typical Natraja Kriti, sometimes referred to as the Natraja Padam, like Orukalai Toki in a Raga Bhageshwari, Idatu Padam in a Rag Kamas, Adum Chidambaram in a Rag Behag, or Adum Daivam in Rag Kamboji, which are the popular compositions of saintly poets like Sri Papanasam Shivam. In these numbers, it goes without saying that Nritya occupies a significant part in showing the dance of the cosmic dancer Nataraj. there is ample scope for permutations and combinations with the Panchagatis like Chatushram, Tishram, Mishram, Khandam and Sankirnam, while emphasizing on the sculpture's postures. The Karanas from Tandava Lakshana are also performed in these numbers, and Nritya enlivens the static poses, adding breath to a frieze. Regarding the languages chosen for the dance numbers, there is no hard and fast rule that one has to choose Tamil or Telugu or vice versa, as these days there have been contributions from poets in various South Indian languages. Recalling from the listed dance items from the beginning, Kautuvams, which are a hallmark of Tanjore style, are in Tamil, while Todai Mangalams like Jaya Janaki Ramana are in Sanskrit. Swarajatis are commonly in Telugu, just like the age-old Varnams. Shabdam, meaning the voice of the people, is usually in Tamil or Telugu because these are adopted from larger texts or epics and culled out to become a narrative piece. Padams and Javalis are in Tamil, Telugu or Kannada. Devanama are in Kannada. Purandaradasa and Kanakadasa have given us a wealth of devotional songs which are popularly performed everywhere, and here we find Nritya aptly suited for the characterization of Lord Krishna, who is the protagonist of the songs. Nritya is indispensable while portraying Kalya Mardana, Govardhana Girnari, Rasa Leela and Kansavadana. Episodes like Draupadi Vastraharana, Prahlada Narsimha, Gajendra Moksha, Mohini Bhasmasura and Amrita Manthana are other popular events which are also depicted while singing the praise of the Lord with his multiple feats, where Nritya is literally at the beck and call of the dancer in her attempts to communicate the myriad emotions and the elaborate sequences. Again, it depends on the acuteness and abilities of the choreographer to aesthetically and harmoniously blend the expressive element with the rhythmic element. Since Nritya is cohesive in nature, it should not be exhaustively utilized on and off in between every mood of subtle expression, which may often disturb the flow of pure expression. This point has to be kept in mind, or else the final outcome would fall short of refinement. Pure Nritya and pure Abhinaya have their separate value, and hence the co-employment of both should be like the icing on a cake, that is, the topmost layer as well as the bits of chocolate within the cake that add to a special thrill in taste. The warning is to be remembered that sufficed use of these may even spoil the taste. Coming to other forms of devotional dance numbers where Nritya is useful, we have abhangas and bhajans where it is used then and there if required. The concluding number of Tillana is comprising of various dance sequences and postures in fast tempo and would contain a short sahitya. In this portion, Nritya is performed to portray the sahitya. Thus, we understand that Nritya is that aspect of Natya wherein there is the portrayal of a character or an expression, rendering the same with the use of Angika Abhinaya and Satvika Abhinaya, which is equally important to sustain the Sattva throughout, in tandem with marked tempo. It is the perfect blend of Nritya and Angika and adds value to the choreographic spectacle. On the one hand, it tests the rhythmic capacity of the dancer and adaptation to tempo with deep understanding of music, while on the other hand, it tests the innate concentration of the dancer to be able to bring out the facial expressions and the hand gestures at the same time. Sangeet Ratnakar has defined Nritya as Angika Abhinaya, which indeed is being practiced in today's times as well. This is the expressional dancing which is typically found in the Marga, is embellished further by the Tanjore quartet around the 19th century. In fact, Sharangadeva avers that it is Nritya that is well known as Marga, Shlok 26 and 27. When it comes to Nritya, he says that it comprises of movements of the body devoid of any expressive gestures, consisting of karanas and angaharas as one of the components of Angika Abhinaya, adding beauty. Nritya and Nritya are Tandava, which is forceful or dynamic, you can say that, and Lasya, meaning graceful and delicate. Nritya is as important as pure Abhinaya for the overall production of the rasa. It gives the versatility and flexibility to the dancer to sustain the aesthetic bliss of rasa. Natya, the dramatic art, is the representation of life and is the triad of Nritya, Abhinaya and Nritya. Loka is performed with the use of less and fluid hand gestures, being predominantly facial and adaptable to suit the common understanding. While Abhinaya can be performed with proper blend of Lokadharmi and Natyadharmi, that is, natural and stylized representation, Nritya speaks the language of Natyadharmi, stylized, contributing to the dramatic and adding to the spectacular aspects basically. Nritya consists of more Natyadharmi gestures, that is, firm and appropriate to tradition in concurrence with footwork. In Varnams, very often it is the Padartha, word to word meaning, narrated in the first two lines of the Sahityas, that is, repeated along with the Tattamital. Lokadharmi liberally uses a mix and match of hand gestures, which would be easily to understand, and rather less hand gestures and relying more on Satvika Bhavas. This may not suit Nritya as much as Natyadharmi, use of comparatively profuse and appropriate gestures as rhythm gets tapped with feet. It is important also to add that the danseuse has to get attired properly for the performance, as it is only with the inclusion of all the ornaments, proper costumes, makeup and other paraphernalia that the Nritya would stand out in all its vitality. One cannot forego or overlook this part, even if one can choose to have variations in the kinds of ornaments or costumes with innovativeness.